Hello everyone. Welcome to Performance Racing League. My name is Ramsey, um, your favorite Tier 1 reserve driver. I'm just testing the sound here. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm gonna go over some audio settings real quick. Make sure that the cars do not overtone absolutely everything. I'll be readjusting as we go. So we said, welcome to Performance Racing League, PRL, the best F1 racing league on the planet, apart from the real life deal. This is season 13, and I believe it is round 7 around. Oof, yeah, a loved and hated track, namely Portimao in Portugal. I know at least one person on this grid has been to Portimao, the Portimao track, in person. You guys can try and find out later who that was. Then we're going straight on a hot lap with Martin. Very quick guy, Martin. I got the pleasure to race him quite a bit already, even though I'm just a reserve driver. Cautious to whatever turn number this is, almost at the end. Definitely not a lot of traction here, but a lot of times gained and lost this section of the track. It'll be interesting to see if you wouldn't find some people take for this start finish straight. Martin sets the provisional pole 17-7. I see a bunch of drivers that take like the Ollie Behrman would say, the iRacing line, where you just stick to the complete inside of the track and stay there. Cut the distance short. And I think this mainly works because, you know, the speed loss in the F1 game by having such a huge steering angle is not exactly modeled right. I think in real life it'll cost them too much speed. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, who else have we got here? We're being a little bit slow today, so it's a nicely busy grid actually. You're also on a lap right now. See what Ford can do. I'm not sure if he's still the championship leader. I haven't looked at the standings in a while. I know tier 1 is fairly tight, at least between the constructors. What I remember, constructors at the top 5 people close. Several of those shows retirements for everyone, I believe. Just a tight field. The pace tighten up again. Straight, players, this game has lost control. Pretty tough to balance things out right now. Mr. B goes official for the second clear on medium tires, so setting the tone here. Mr. Bean as always extremely rapid in qualifying. Also the race, but definitely happy about that considering the compound difference. Oh, and we have Morris back with us as well. Haven't seen him in a while. Welcome back to the rest of the slot. 17-8. Not the quickest, but also medium tires. I just realized. Maybe this is a bit of a practice session. Not everyone gets time to, you know, sit down and practice for the races, so they're trying to warm up a little bit. Let's follow this driver, Kak, pretty new to the league, I believe. Oh, and I think they've aborted their lap. Build-up's not either though. Very cautious into the ultimate section here. Lots of time off throttle, but just trying to set a banker lap, I guess. Still has traction to make it on the exit of the corner, lost some speed down the straight. Yeah, up to the white line, kind of something in the middle actually, and this will be an 18 flat. Good for P7 right now. Joe in the McLaren, one of the protagonists of this championship, also on medium tires, so lots of confidence. Oh, and I'm getting some feedback here that the game is a bit too loud. Thank you for that. We'll adjust that real quick. Now let's see if this is better. Oh, and that was a near miss for Joe there. Wow, I have no idea who that was. I think it was the Red Bull that just went into the pits, so it may have been CAC. Well, we'll see whether that ends up being a penalty or anything like that. I think the game is quieter now. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more even. Yeah, let me know, Mr. Bean, if it's better now. Okay, so we've missed quite a bit of this qualifying due to focusing on technicalities. Let's go on board with another driver here. Ghost Viper, also fairly new to the league, but is establishing himself as a prominent figure in the Discord chat and on the races. Shows up consistently, which is really nice to see. Yeah, takes the hairpin really nicely, not much speed lost there. Made it nicely up the hill. Yeah, I'll try that in a second here, Lucas8. I'll try to invite you. I'm just trying to finish this lap as I've already missed quite a bit of this qualifying. Oh, maybe Ghost wasn't even on a heater. I'm a little confused because the steering wheel does say overtake, but the battery doesn't seem to be dropping up until now, so I'm a little confused as to what happened there. Sets an 18.9. And we also have Morris now finishing a quick lap. Goes right in with a 17.0 to P2. Really nice effort. Hey, Lucas8.
Hey, Ramsey, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very, very good. Sorry for joining a bit late.
Oh, that's alright. Let me just make sure we can hear you on stream. Oh, yeah, we can. Amazing.
Testing. Cool.
Yeah, so just to
Wow,
bring you
so
up
Gord
to.
already pulling into the 116s, I see.
Yeah, he so far has the quickest lap. We also joined a bit late. Pretty busy grid today, which is nice. 16 drivers. Not the worst for Portugal. It's not exactly a favorite track for people. Um, and we're coming off a 2-week break, so we'll see if people have somehow, who's lost pace, who's put in practice. I think it'll be pretty evident, especially on this track. Um, yeah, I'm very
A
curious to
very tough
see
track indeed.
some drivers have opted to start on the mediums, so some of these runs at even Mr. Bean and Joe there, I think were done on mediums, GK Bass as well. So it'll
Wow.
be interesting to see how this goes. Some new names on the grid.
Yeah.
I know you've done some comms recently, so you may be more acquainted. But Chaos Frank, for example, is a new name to me.
Yeah, new to me as well. Welcome to PRL.
Exactly. I also seem to have a. Oh no, now I understand how the UI works. Okay, never mind.
All good. Morris is on a hot lap, so
Oh,
he's gunning for pole, it looks like.
yeah, let's
Or
switch
at
to
least
him.
attempting to.
Ooh, looks like
Yeah.
purple sector 2 up 4/10.
Yeah, Mr. Bean also just going purple in sector 2, 5 temps improved. So it looks like a good shootout for between Morris and Mr. Bean for potentially pole right now. At least provisional pole.
Nice, yeah, so we got a 16-4 here. The chat is saying that you're a little bit quiet, so I'm gonna fix that here after Mr. Bean's lap.
Sure,
Goes in
sure.
with a
Oh, nice.
16-2.
116.2.
Wow. Yeah, so what I believe I have to do is I have to limit the in-game sound here a little bit, and then I can turn up this source so that you are a bit louder, and hopefully that'll help.
Awesome. Yeah, so Morris with the 116.4, but Mr. Bean with the 116.2. And GK is on. No, he's done a lap of 116.6. So he's pushed Gord down to 4th. And now we wait and see when Gord will respond. But there's 4 minutes to go.
Nice. Yeah, very tight. Um, I also believe Martin should be starting a lap right now. Um, doesn't have too much ERS left, so I'm curious to see
Yeah.
what he can do. Joe just finishing a lap. 16.9.
Very
Improvements
nice.
over everywhere.
I wonder who will break into the 115 barrier.
Yeah, it is certainly possible, seeing that a 16.2 is the top. So
Yeah,
Martin,
Martin's situation's weird because he was actually harvesting some battery at one point, so he's in none. So I'm not. I think he's just having a sighter lap.
yeah, trying to cool down the tires maybe.
Hmm.
It's curious because we have 3 minutes 45 left on the clock. The lap's not that long, so you definitely have time to grab a new set at this point. We also have Craig who's just starting his lap right now, so let's go on board with Craig. Also a really quick driver. Of course, we all know him as the champion of the chase cam. Oh, and unfortunately invalidates. Yeah, most likely if we had a little off race with chase cam, Craig would smoke everyone here.
Maybe if Craig didn't use chase cam, he wouldn't have invalidated there.
Yeah, that is possible as well. I wonder how much potential is in his pace.
I'm willing to offer an hour's worth of free training to Craig on a cockpit cam if he wants.
Well, Craig, if you hear that on the replay or on the live stream, you know who to message on Discord. Looks like Rusty
Oh,
has
Rusty's
opted to
retired.
retire, so probably thinks he can't improve his lap.
Tyhill's doing the traditional method of staying in the pit and maybe
Yeah,
doing one lap at the very end.
just really likes the mechanics, you know, just wants to finish that espresso and just go out right at the end. Priorities. I
Yeah, I
res
mean they should do a nice Italian espresso at Sauber, right? You'd
I
hope.
mean, he's basically just playing this league on hard mode, you know. If you only go out with one quali lap, you're certainly making it tougher for yourself.
He's already won a PRL championship. Doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. He's just like Bottas. He's the Bottas of PRL. I mean, Bottas didn't win a championship, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's happy in his own skin.
Bottas is one of those drivers who just got unlucky that there was so much generational talent around him.
Yeah.
He had the car, that's for sure. We have Villeneuve trying to improve, but it looks like he is just about 1/10 up, as in You know, this was always a discussion. Are they up or down on their time? I don't know, but he's a bit slower. Ooh, nicely cutting the. Oh, just going into the pits. As always, Ramsey's watching the wrong guy. And
So
Noob
the top
just.
5 all on outlaps.
Yeah.
Bass just beginning now his final hot run.
Gonna stay on board with Noob here for a little bit. Haven't given him any airtime. And then we'll hop onto the top 5 there right after. Noob's finding
Sounds
himself
good.
in a really good position here right now, P6. So if he's able to improve, he should be able to start ahead of people such as Martin and Justin, who normally might maybe out-qualify him. So this is a really good result for Noob.
Justin's only 1/10 improved so far, so he's got a little bit of work cut out now to actually catch up to the rest. Craig's already set his final lap, I believe, with 1:17.4, so he's down in 8th for now, but may drop a place or two, maybe to Justin. Depends if he can improve.
Okay, we're gonna switch back to Mr. Bean here. Just did the fastest sector, according to the
Nope,
graph.
only just. Oh, Morris had a moment and has invalidated, so his
Ah,
session is over.
well, Morris's best result possible is P2 at the moment. We also have a yellow in sector 1, a Ferrari. Just staying out of the way, I believe. Really
Yep,
nice
he's
line
rejoined
from
Dr. J.
Mr. Bean. Took that apex perfectly there. Oh yeah, and you can see the different technique on some of the drivers. You can see a bit of a double turn in into some of the really acutely sharp corners. I see that with
Gord's
Mr.
about to
Bean
cross
and
the
Joe a
line.
lot.
1:16.4, not quite enough, but a very good lap time.
Yeah, very tight at the top there. And Mr. Bean improves to a 16.0, extending the lead for pole position.
Wow. So that means it's Joe then now the next driver who could try and do something.
Yeah. I assume we missed Vass's lap. And Noob has not improved either, but should retain P6. And Joe cannot improve. Improves his time, but cannot improve his position.
Oh, yeah, Noob though could be on for catching Joe.
Oh yeah, up two
Depends
and a
how he
half
does in the
tenths
last
is
sector.
out of battery though. That will cost him quite a bit on the straight here. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, lost the
Well
time he
said.
gained. That's too bad. Valiant effort. Well,
Yeah, Dr.
Lucas
J
8,
had
it
that
looks like
spin,
we have
unfortunately.
our grid. And Tar
Yeah,
Heels
very
actually
close.
ended up not putting in a time at all. Okay.
Saving the tyres,
This
saving the engine.
the espresso was really good today. Oh, well,
Either that
Mr.
or he just
Bean,
doesn't trust the mechanics anymore.
I believe this must be, Mr. Bean's, I don't know how many he's had in a row, but I believe he's had a few pole positions consecutively now. So congrats to Mr. Bean on yet another pole position here in Portugal. Let's start this
Yeah,
early because
fantastic.
the overview screens are always a bit short-lived. So GK Bass in second, also a great result for him. Obviously, this is where GK Bass clinched his championship in season 11. Portimao was the last track of that season. Morris, his arch rival, in third, and then his teammate Gord in fourth. That will make Mercedes happy as they're fighting McLaren in the championship quite closely. Joe in fifth, so we have our a typical top five here. Noob, excellent result in sixth. Martin in seventh. Will want to catch up with the top five. Justin in P8, improved from P10. Craig in ninth, and Rusty finishes the top 10. And then we have Villeneuve, Chaos Frank, Dr. J, Ghost Viper, CAC, and Tar Heels finishing up the grid all the way up to P16.
Good session.
Good session. I'm just gonna mute myself here for a second. I'm gonna grab some water, and then I'll be
Sure.
back.
Yep. That should be about a 2-minute break. But if anything happens, I'll fill in for you. No problem at all.
All right, nice to see we don't have anyone readying up early today.
Yep, it's given me a chance to eat my food that I desperately need to eat. I just threw some bits together when I got home that were left in the fridge. It's not so bad.
Yeah. It's what time is it for you? Like 8, 9 p.m.?
It's now 24 past 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How's things in the beautiful Canada
Oh,
in tariff
it's
land, or affected by tariff land?
yeah, who isn't? No, things are alright. There was a little bit of a sad incident here last night, but maybe you guys saw it on the news. I won't get into it. Um,
Yes, I've read about that. That is sad.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's currently overcast in lovely Vancouver. Something like 14, 15 degrees in real world metric units. I have no idea about the others. Um, yeah, things aren't bad. I'm just looking at the starting tires here. I know
Hmm.
our fellow racers like to fake each other out and switch everything last minute, but looks like a good mix of softs and mediums right now. I'll be curious to see how that changes um, closer to the start of the race. I believe we have no formation lap.
That's right. No formation lap in PRL. Get straight into it. And yeah, I've definitely seen quite a few drivers change tyres at the last second. It always makes me laugh.
Yeah, I'm actually one of them, if I'm completely honest. Oh, and it looks like we're starting.
Here we go.
All right, let's. Oh, great start from Joe's. Passed some drivers already. Might even get P3.
Great start by Mr. Bean, but he's got GK Bass on the inside of turn 2, and I think they're going to be having a bit of a race now for the next few corners. But yeah, Mr. Bean just shuts the door on Bass, solidifies that P1. Joe going for a move on Morris on the inside, really nice on the braking point there, gives a lot of nice space. And now it's going to be a bit of a drag race, which will give Morris the inside line into the next corner.
Yeah,
Wow,
really,
still tries to hang it outside there, Joe. Just goes outside the track limits, but he's okay. And he
really.
has had a wobble though on the exit, so I think that allows Gord through. And actually now Joe is really falling down, so Bet messed up his traction there, pushed a little bit too hard, and he lost 2 places.
Wow. Really great tight racing. Obviously, Joe tries to get the advantage here as we just gonna check the tires. I believe he's one of the only ones on the softs in the end. Yeah,
Yep, so not quite the start he wanted, but only lap 1.
yeah. Very smart from Morris to fight that position really hard, as dropping behind the McLaren on softs would have cost him quite a bit, and this way he can stay in touch with the leaders there. Tar Heels made the only one starting on hard tires, and there must have been an incident that we missed as Dr. J is dropped down quite a bit. Ooh, nice fight here between Martin and Rusty. As Dr. J, I believe, is off track again. Just let me see what's happening there. Just having some issues with this car, maybe some sort of technical difficulty. Yeah, almost the entire field is still in one train. We have Tar Heels lagging behind a little bit, but that's to be expected. The hard tire has a really long warm-up. It's actually 2 compounds softer than the rest of the tires. So we have a C0 tire, as it's called, for the hards, and then the C2 is the medium, and the C3 is the soft tire. Joe is very close to Gort Sauce, but just cannot get any overlap.
Yeah, very unfortunate they did everything right, but just in that train can't quite get the move done. Martin, though, has, I believe, just got past Craig for P8.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there because Martin was already up in P7 past Rusty.
Oh, okay, maybe it was a bit of a DRS battle. I'm not sure, but yeah, I did see Craig, Martin just getting past Craig, so maybe a recovery.
Hmm.
Craig now all under pressure though from Martin there, side by side. Excellent racing there.
Yeah, really nice
Craig just
overtake
about
through the
comes out in
hairpin.
front.
Wonder if he can stay ahead. Yeah, so the train's breaking up a little bit now, so we have a tiny bit of a gap behind Rusty. Definitely something Craig can catch up, especially on the softer compound tire. The top 7
Yeah,
all staying within DRS for now.
Joe's really struggling to get past Gord, and actually it's allowing Noob to get onto the back of him. So I think he's got to try and push on these softs as soon as possible and get some moves done.
Absolutely, and if memory serves me right, the softs do drop off quite a bit here, even as early as lap 5, 6. They're good for much longer, but they lose their pace advantage pretty quickly.
Mm. Good news is Bass is doing a fantastic job of keeping Mr. Bean under pressure. You know, it's been a couple of races where Bean's broken DRS pretty early on, but I think this time he's got some fierce competition behind.
That's right. Bass might even be looking at a move into the hairpin here. Oh,
Oh,
can't
very
quite
nice late
decide.
move.
Yeah, it was a bit
Whew.
tentative. I think wasn't quite sure whether he was gonna hit his breaking point there and decided to back out
Mm.
last minute. Safety first, I guess, in the first few laps here.
I quite like it though. It's keeping Mr. Bean on his toes.
Hmm. That's right. Craig's also managed to catch back up to Rusty. Definitely back in the DRS. We have Justin and Tar Heels fighting at the back, so Justin definitely dropped a lot of positions. We missed that as well. It's really tough to get on top of everything here. Martin
Yep, and
also
Cac
struggling.
Supreme is trying to sight up a move on Chaos for P12. And Joe looks as close to Gord as I've seen. This could be a move. It's going to be really tight into turn 1. Oh, he just can't. He's always so close, but he can't quite get alongside.
Yeah, very interesting. I wonder if this is like a setup um, difference or whether Gord is simply very smart at when to fire up the ERS.
Yeah, definitely some sort of tactics at play, and it'll be frustrating Joe big time.
And we've missed a move for the lead as GK Bass is leading.
I was too busy looking down at Cac Supreme and Chaos. They're having a battle. Also, Tar Heels has actually got back past Justin. So Justin took him into turn 1. Tar Heels retook the position.
Yeah, a couple of DRS overtakes there. Mr. Bean extremely eager to get past Bass. Ooh, it's extremely close on the entry to the corners. Just seems to be carrying a little bit more minimum speed. Here, there might be an overtake coming here for P1.
I think that is a good shout.
It's out of the slipstream very early. Yeah, and then just, it doesn't even take that much ERS, you just have to time it quite well.
Yeah, quite a nice simple move for Mr. Bean to take the lead, or retake the lead.
The top 6 sticking together very well. Rusty's not too far off. Um, just about 2
Yeah, all it
seconds
would take
now.
is a little bit of a battle up front, and I think Rusty's group would close back in. Although Craig is going for a very late move
Yeah,
on
forces
Rusty.
Rusty to outbrake himself and takes the position.
Wow.
Now it's trying. Oh, Rusty's trying. Oh, this is a very dangerous corner to overtake, but they manage it quite well. Tar Heels has
Meanwhile,
left the
Chaos has
session.
overtaken Cac for P12. They've been fighting all race.
I'm going to try to invite Tar Heels. I'm not the lobby host, but maybe it'll help.
Let me see if I can do that as well.
Yeah, Mr. Bean has gotten P1 back, as we saw. Wondering if these guys will just trade positions now.
I've invited Tar Heels.
Yeah, same here. Great job. Martin's actually going for the move on Rusty already through the penultimate or the ultimate corner. Is he trying to? Oh, and oh, the Rusty's gonna get blocked in
Three
here.
aside. Oh,
Wow, that was very, very daring.
oh.
Very
That might
close racing.
compromise Martin though, yeah. Taking the inside there rarely works out when you've got a car behind. Craig says thank you very much. Now Craig's on the push. He's going to brake quite comfortably and take the inside against Rusty. Gives a fair amount of space to Rusty, but good track, good car positioning there. He takes P7.
Yeah,
Good
awesome
battle.
move by Craig. Really nicely done. It looked very clean from Martin's perspective here. Obviously, this is losing them some time as they're now 4 seconds behind Noob, but it is for position.
Yeah. The top six don't look like they're actually too close to a big battle. But then all it takes is one mistake actually from one driver, and you know how quickly things can change.
Absolutely.
And yeah, interestingly, Ghost just chilling in the background with Villeneuve, sort of just eyeing up the Craig Rusty Martin triple threat.
Yeah. So I've stayed on board with Martin for this entire lap, and it'd be interesting to see. You know, it looks like they're all trying to regain some of their ERS.
Oof, Villeneuve running very wide out of turn one.
Oh, we actually
That will be
Tar
track
Heels is
limits.
actually DNF'd.
Oh,
Um,
he is off the track
yeah,
completely.
looks like the game has decided not to
Somewhere in sector
do
3.
much about it. No safety car.
That's a really weird place to go off. I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
I'm not sure. Maybe they've given up on their connection. He's actually typing in Discord right now, so I'll see what he says. As Ghost Viper is trying to get past Martin, forces him onto the sausage curb, which destabilizes the car. So he may just make the move around the outside and does it. Yeah, Martin really struggling in this race. Actually dropped. I believe he started P7.
Yeah, he seems to be positioning himself on the inside and then really struggling for traction when he's got a car on the outside and he's just then dropping a position on the straight.
Okay, if Tar Heels, I've sent you another invite. Very sorry for your experience with the game. We've all been there. Yeah, that was a great pass by Ghost Viper. Very impressive. Just saw his opportunity and pounced on it. Let's see if he can stay with Rusty and Craig.
Meanwhile, Bass is really nicely keeping hold of P1.
Yeah, another DRS pass, I presume. Yeah, these drivers are all very equal in terms of everything right now. Morris, Gordon, Joe, just kind of just hanging on. Joe will be struggling on those soft tires now.
Yeah, falling outside of DRS range. I think you've called it there. The soft is starting to fall away. I think only a matter of time until Noob takes the position, probably on the next main straight.
Yeah, be curious to see whether Joe will try to go for an undercut here. Lap 9 is pretty early, but not too far off of the pit window. Yeah, Joe won't be able to stay in DRS. Stay on the board with a Noob here. Yeah, very easy pass.
Already alongside going up the hill of the straight.
Yeah,
It's a very steep incline.
yeah. Yeah, Mr. Bean and Bass traded positions yet
Oh,
again.
yeah, and it's the whole Rusty Martin ghost as well. So Rusty, oh, he's gone off the track though, and that's allowed Martin on the inside of turn 2. He's going to hang it in. This time he's just got to ace the traction because he's really struggled with traction outside from the inside. And yet again, same thing,
And
struggling
Ghost
for
Viper
traction
takes
after
a
positioning on the inside.
really smart line. They're gonna be 3 wide into the hairpin. This is gonna be very dangerous. Oh, definitely some contact there. I saw some carbon flying.
Yeah, and Rusty was ghosted, so maybe he's lost an end plate. No, his car looks okay.
His car looks okay. Maybe some light green damage or something. Yeah, very, very tight racing here today. It's fun to watch. And
Yeah, it's amazing. And yeah, Ghost is being very intelligent, biding
yeah,
his time and just positioning the car well.
yeah, Rusty's actually
Small lock
doing
up for
quite
Rusty.
well now on these old softs. That's probably why he's struggling a bit. Definitely see
Mm.
it here with the exit. Yeah, really struggling
Oh
against
wow, yeah.
Ghost. And Villeneuve just behind might actually pounce as well. Let's stay on both. And Rusty goes into the
Yeah, because
pits.
Ghost took a slightly compromised line.
Huh.
Craig enters the pits and he's sped into the pit lane. He's got a 10-second penalty.
Oh no. Nice move by
And yeah,
Villeneuve.
you're absolutely spot on there. Villeneuve got the move done on Ghost.
Yeah, very opportunistic. I'm curious to see what Martin has left in the tank. As Joe actually caught up with Noob again. Sorry, I misremembered that. Noob must have overtaken Joe. Um, and they're a little bit off
And
the
then meanwhile for
top
the
pack of
lead,
four now.
sorry, Mr. Bean took the lead back off Bass, and then Morris almost was able to get the jump on Bass. So Bass just about prevented losing 2 spots, and he's down to second.
Yeah, this will be a race to the end. I'm wondering who's gonna blink first. And as we get an update from our Discord here, Tar Heels was actually retired by the game itself while he was disconnected, so extremely unfortunate.
Oh
Especially
wow.
considering where the game decided to park the car. This is very unusual.
Yeah, that is weird.
Top four look like they're staying put for now this lap on lap 12.
Joe and Noob.
Joe. Joe, a little bit
Joe
off
just
track.
gets past. So Joe just keeps him at bay, I should say.
Wow. Joe really struggling to hit the apexes now. Yeah, you can just tell Noob has so much more grip.
Yeah, Joe's having to use every inch of track, isn't he, just to keep the speed up.
As Martin and Ghost Viper are still, they haven't really caught up on the top six. But them and Villeneuve are actually managing to drive away from the rest of the field. Let's check out the tires here. Yeah, so apart from the drivers in 13th, 14th, 15th, everyone's still on the original tire. Dr. J is actually still on the original tire as well. So must have just had a really, really unlucky lap 1 to drop down so far. But without any damage.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job staying in there.
As Joe goes into the
Joe has been
pits.
caught speeding.
Wow. This is gonna cost him dearly, unfortunately.
Yeah, the race starting to fall away from him a little bit, it has to be said.
Goes on to the mediums, most likely till the end.
Chaos and Cac fighting again for P10. I think he's just slightly too far back, but they have been fighting ever since turn 1, lap 1.
They found each other. The top four now definitely driving away from the rest of the field. 4.7 seconds on P5. Martin gaining a bit of time on Noob. And Joe came out just behind Justin. Just 1.2 seconds. Should easily make it into their DRS on this fresh rubber. But overall, very clean driving. I think we missed some incidents in the beginning. You know, typical lap 1 stuff. Hopefully just racing incidents. So far, a pretty clean race.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving the top 4, just how close it is. I think this race is evolving well. So expect Joe to go on a bit of a charge. He's already caught up to the back of Justin. Obviously him and Craig have got a lot of work to do to make up the 10-second deficit, but they should be hopefully able to overtake and catch up to the rest of the order.
Absolutely. Yeah, Joe, pretty easy pass with GRS. May have gotten a track warning there. I'm not sure. I know track warnings on this track are pretty tight, pretty easy to get them. Let's skip to the top
Very
four
good
of.
call. He did. He was indeed given track limits.
Oh, thanks for checking. I'm gonna go back on the top four a little bit. I haven't given them too much airtime. Um, yeah, they could they could not be closer. Very impressive racing. So close to each other. Well, GK Bass looks to be the closest, so may actually be able to pass Mr. Bean here. It does so. And Morris does so as well. I believe this is the
Wow.
first time that Mr. Bean drops out of the top two.
Yep. Interesting comparing the battery as well of the top four.
Yeah. For some reason I can only see two of the steering wheels fully. Um, must be some mounting differences between the cars. Um,
If you enable telemetry
yeah,
as well,
I
that
may
can
have.
help. But I get it does block some of the screen.
Yeah, I like the interface to be quite clean, but we can definitely do that for a sec here. Without shouting out everyone's battery levels, be there to see for our spectators.
Okay, Rusty, the first driver actually to receive, I believe, a penalty for track limits. Oh no, along with CAC. So 2 drivers now with 3-second pens.
Curious to see whether Morris can go for the move here. No, simple DRS overtake, well done. Yeah, so Martin has definitely found some pace now that he's in clear air. Dropped Villeneuve and Ghost and caught up about 2 seconds on Noob in the last lap or two. So really decent pace by Martin now. I got a bit hampered and blocked in at the start. Definitely has the pace to be up there with the top four. I'll see. I wouldn't say his race is over. In terms of a good finishing position. I'll see what he can get up to until the end. Maybe with a bit of a different strategy or a lucky safety car. We'll see how this goes. Villeneuve and Ghost still fighting quite hard. Seem to be fairly matched. And those mediums still make a very good impression. We go back to the top four. It looks like there may be an overtake here. It's obviously a lot harder to overtake someone who has DRS in front of you, but Mr. Mean manages to do so.
Yeah, I feel like Mr. Bean very much likes to stay at least in second. He wants to be the car that can jump into the lead when the situation arises. So happy to compromise battery a little bit there to push aggressively into P2.
Yeah. The Mercedes drivers will now have to figure out what they want to do. We're obviously getting close to the pit window, which I believe is around lap 20-ish, 20 to 25 or so, maybe even 19. Depends on how comfortable you feel on those softs. They will do a little bit better than using them in the first stint, but yeah, the pace drop off is pretty drastic after about um, yeah, 5, 6, 7 laps. Mr. Bean absolutely glued to Morris's gearbox now, already at the exit of the ultimate turn. Morris definitely pushing to stay in second, is aware of the threat behind. And they're actually catching up on on Dr. J, who will get blue flags here.
There's a lot of cars
Yeah,
for Dr. J to let through.
Dr. J opts to just stay on his line, but it goes out of the way now.
Hmm.
Yeah, that I feel like that DRS straight was the perfect moment to let people through, but everyone has their own style. Oh, and Ghost Viper and Villeneuve fighting out of the hairpin. Villeneuve has a bit of a snap of oversteer, but keeps it pinned and stays ahead. And Joe makes his way through the field. He just passed Chaos and now wants to get past the Red Bull driver, Kak. Already done 5 laps on this medium, so it'd be, oh, as Kak has a moment through the uphill. Joe doesn't anticipate it quite clearly. Martin has left the session. That probably is not intentional. I don't know if I have him as a friend. Oh, I do. Hopefully this works. I've sent you invite Martin if you're listening. And Kak really is struggling through the penultimate corner there. This might deny Joe DRS.
Yeah, I was thinking that. We'll see. But I think that white line was the DRS line, so I think Joe will lose the position back, but we'll see. Maybe he just trusted the grip would be so much greater that even without DRS he'd be okay, but we'll find out.
Yeah, it looks like
And
he made sure of that. There's also someone coming out of the pits, which was Noob, who just pitted for softs, and Gord as well. So the first of the top 4 have blinked.
Gord's come out into a nice position.
Yeah,
Lots
very
of clean air
nice.
to push on those softs.
Very, very nice. Will probably push pretty hard now to gain some positions up ahead. Obviously, he will not have DRS. Yeah, Martin, I feel ya. I will try to send you another quick invite here. Oh, not showing as online anymore. As GK Bass now also opts to pit. So both Mercedes getting rid of their tires. Morris and Mr. Bean opting to stay out. Oh, Mr. Bean, bit of a snap on the uphill, turn 3. And Morris uses this opportunity to get into P1.
Meanwhile, Villeneuve gets past Ghost for P3.
These guys have been fighting each other ever since Villeneuve caught up, or Ghost caught up to them. And there will be another pass on the DRS straight.
I think maybe track limits for Morris.
Who's gonna come out ahead here? It will be Villeneuve.
Great battling there. And Mr. Bean getting back into first from Morris. Morris ran a little bit wide.
Curious to see if one of these will opt to pit now, or whether they feel comfortable on these tires. They certainly haven't been. Oh, okay, yeah, Morris basically did a opposite stop here. Was told by his engineer. It was quite clear he was trying to see whether Mr. Bean will pit or not. Curious to see where Morris will come out now. Let's stay on board with him. Gortsas is...
Villeneuve boxes. So you called it.
Yeah. Gortsas had a really quick lap and comes out ahead, quite a far ahead of Morris. The
Yeah.
undercut really working
His
for the Mercedes.
really worked well. That 5 seconds of fresh air or clean air, and he just absolutely pushed, and he's put tremendous pressure now on the top 2. So, I mean, yes, his tyres will burn out first, but I think he's really, really done well with the strategy there.
Yeah, even gained tremendously on his own teammate, and that was just 1 lap. Hopefully will not get blocked in now by Ghost, who does not have to give up the position as he's not lapped. This will definitely cost Gord a bit of
Wow,
time,
the
but does it
traction
really
difference
nicely.
there. Great
Yeah.
move.
Very nice driving by Gortsas here, as you're saying, putting on the pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Bean pits now, as he does.
Yeah, I think Bean needs to pit absolutely, and he will lose the position. I'm pretty sure the pit stop's about 20 seconds
Yeah.
here.
Morris 2.5 seconds behind GK Bass. That's quite a bit of time to catch up, and now, considering that Mr. Bean will most likely come out behind Morris, um,
In fact, Mr. Bean could be in a bit of trouble here with traffic as well. And even Bass gets through. Wow.
yeah,
So the undercut, even more powerful than we expected. Morris as
yeah,
well
Morris is through.
gets through.
So really, really smart move by the Mercedes team. They can now tow each other along with their DRS. Meanwhile, Morris and Mr. Bean might just end up fighting each other. Um, very curious to see where this goes. This pit stop strategy has created a much bigger gap than I anticipated.
Wow.
I'm gonna try to invite Martin one more time.
I think Mr. Bean's going to have a difficult time catching up because, I mean, yes, 2-lap fresher softs, but there's only so much you can do with 2-lap fresher softs when you're now 5 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, there's a lot of time to cover. You actually see by using the gap to the leader. So yeah, we have Morris 3.3 behind, 3.4 behind the leader, and Mr. Bean 5.4. Yeah, it's a bit of a mountain to climb. Obviously, there are 11 laps to go here, so it isn't impossible. As Morris sets the fastest lap and moves past Ghost Viper, who's doing really, really well on these old mediums. Considering the starting position of Ghost,
Oof.
he will gain a lot of positions with this strategy. Do we have an incident at the pits there? Did I miss
Look,
something?
Kak and Chaos both choosing to pit. They decided they want to just keep fighting till the flag. So they even pit at the same time.
They will enjoy each other's company till the end. I have to say, Morris making great strides already. Has caught Bass by half a second in the first sector. May have been helped
And I
by
think,
DRS. Oh, Martin retired. Oh, but that was in the pits. Okay. So probably, maybe the invite worked and you just decided to throw in the towel, which can't blame you.
so Justin's caught up to Chaos, so he is back in the race with the actual, yeah, that's what the main pack.
Just a
Or at least one of the
really nice move by
main
Mr.
packs.
Bean past Ghost and through the penultimate corner. Used his traction and grip advantage there, and is now hunting down the top three. I have to say, Morris and Mr. Bean really using their tire advantage. It's only a lap or two, but Morris has caught up by, you know, over almost 2 seconds now, and Mr. Bean is also close to 2 seconds. So they're definitely showing their pace.
Yep, the question is how much are they burning the tyres or how much are Gord and GK backing off? I mean, Gord has now, I think, almost allowed Bass to get into DRS range, so perhaps what you were saying earlier is true. They're just going to use DRS and tow. Although actually I say that, Gord really struggled on the exit there.
Yep, seems to be slowing down his teammate a bit on this lap at least, as Morris is basically back in
Maybe a
DRS
tactical
range.
switch.
Yeah, so they've
Yeah,
allowed
Morris definitely allowed
Morris.
back in.
Noob is actually doing quite well. Still in the DRS of Joe. That's a soft tire strategy in the beginning. Joe starting on the softs is not paying off. He's 9 seconds off the drivers that he was battling with, and you know, those drivers ahead of him are now just on the better tire. Yeah, 11 lap old mediums will not be able to compete with 5 lap old softs, and even when those wear a bit more, I think it'll be very much equal, making it very difficult to catch up.
Yeah, what an exciting race though. This has turned into a very strategic battle. And really
Absolutely.
hard to call who's going to win at this stage.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it seems that drivers' setups are quite close or quite similar. as drivers are really struggling to pass each other even on the straight. So the top three are back to where they started, and Mr. Bean will be there quite soon, only 1.6 seconds off. Um, the DRS will not be working in his favor, but considering that you do slow each other down through the corners, it shouldn't be a problem for him to catch up. So we also have Rusty very close to Chaos. Rusty actually opted for the hard tires. It is a bold choice on this track.
Perhaps expecting, I don't know actually.
Yeah, it is. The tire, you know, it has great longevity, but just in terms of pace, it's quite a bit behind the medium even.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that choice.
With that recent lockup, actually lost quite a bit of time to Chaos, so we'll not have the DRS anymore.
Noob and Joe.
Noob and Joe.
Noob down the inside of Joe for P5.
Nice little battle. See if Joe opts to repass. Nope, probably not. Yeah, so we have about 7 laps to the end now, and I'd go out on a limb and say it'll be someone from the top 4. That one or two lap advantage might really come in handy for Mr. Bean now, I have to say, considering how quickly these softs will lose pace.
Morris really pushing with the battery.
Yeah,
Desperate. Oh, 3 abreast
wide.
into turn 1 potentially.
Morris gets it
Wow,
done.
great
GK
move
Bass.
from Morris.
Yeah, really, really nice. Very clean too. Oh, and Mr. Bean pushes his way. Wants to push his way on the inside of Gord, but goes a little bit too deep. Hits Bass in the back. No consequence there, luckily. And tries to dive down into
Oh, and a
the
late
hairpin.
move from Mr. Bean.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, bit of a different driving standard at this point, and tries to still push past Gord. They're fighting really hard. The uphill will be crucial here. Who has the better traction? And it is Mr. Bean.
Yeah, Gord tried really hard to defend there. Did well, positioned his car nicely, but it's just so hard to get better traction up that hill on the inside.
Yeah, Mr. Bean aware that his tire advantage will fade soon, trying to make up the positions. Very interesting. It was very, very hard to say who's going to come out on top here. The top 4 still driving away from the rest of the field. Gained about 1.5 seconds on Joe over the last lap. Joe and Noob
I think Gord will be
obviously
so
fighting.
frustrated because he pitted, the pit tactics were so great, and yet somehow he finds himself now back in P4.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked really good in the beginning for them, but just couldn't keep up with the pace of the cars behind. Mr. Bean very aggressively trying to get back to the front now. Yeah, Gord has to watch out here. He's basically one snap of oversteer away from losing the DRS. Now 0.9 seconds. Very close to 1 second.
Oh,
Oh,
Mr. Bean is absolutely desperate to get past in quite unusual places.
yeah.
He's got to be careful of his tyres. Massive lockup.
That has actually helped Gord. He may have lost DRS, but the fighting ahead has helped him here. And Morris is just sitting
Yeah,
in P1 and laughing right now.
yeah. Typically not the cleverest to fight too much mid-train in non-standard places for that reason. But I think they've just about got away with it.
It is very nice too that these drivers know each other very well. They've raced each other the entire season and the season before that. Oh, and it seems that Joe had a bit of a moment. I see yellow flags. Oh, and decides to pit. Wondering what happened between him and Noob there potentially. Definitely saw a yellow flag in the last sector. Yeah, so what I was going to say, these drivers know each other very well, so they know what to expect from each other, which makes up for this really great tight racing. As long as it stays clean, that's all. That's all nice. Gort now definitely losing traction. Losing. Sorry. um, losing the DRS.
Oh, yeah, sorry, as Chaos almost completely loses control. And also Joe, so he's pit onto the soft tyre, so another set of softs, I believe, maybe rolling the dice, thinking if there's a safety car, that he doesn't need to do anything and he's lost the 10-second penalty. I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure. I can't think of another reason why he would have pit, because his car was in good condition. He didn't have to change wing or anything.
Yeah, it may also just be an, simply didn't enjoy it anymore. He knew he was out of the fight for the lead, so he said, "Let's enjoy the rest of these few laps. Set a fastest lap."
There's also a really good battle between Rusty and Justin for P11. They were side by side for a few corners. I think Rusty's just about defended it nicely, but Justin's all over the back of him come the main straight.
Mr. Bean has made it past Bass, by the way, and we also have Villeneuve and Craig going for it. Villeneuve just moving past Craig, I believe.
Good move.
Let me see how fresh these tires are. So Justin's tires are definitely not new, 9-lap-old softs. But they seem to be competitive with the 18-lap-old hards. Cat gets a 3-second time penalty. Rusty with a late defending move there, but not too stark, so it wasn't a problem for Justin. Gains position up to P11. See if he can make up some time. Oh, as Joe finds his way past Rusty with superior traction. If there's a yellow flag, I'm not quite sure what for. Yeah, great
Dr. J
racing.
pits onto a fresh set of softs.
Is that his first stop? No.
I think it's his second, but let me check. Yeah, it's his third stop, in fact.
Third, okay.
Biggest winner so far in this race, Ghost Viper up 8, Villeneuve up 4, Morris of course up 2, so Kak is up 5, so some pretty good performances there, although Kak has a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
So I think he may actually be close to finishing last, which is unfortunate.
Ghost's strategy has definitely helped him out. Started quite far back and has now jumped both Craig and Villeneuve, I believe. Really, really good job. And only 7 seconds behind Noob, who also started in P6. Gord now dropped off quite a bit from the top 3. Will not be happy about that. We'll take the P4. Um, yeah, we'll see which tire wins here. We have Morris on 10-lap-old softs, Mr. Bean on 9-lap-old softs, and GK Bass on 11-lap-old softs. The toughest task for GK Bass, of course, but everyone here can win, I'm convinced of that.
Oh, Mr. Bean on the inside of Morris for the lead, but has to give space on the outside. And then Bass is going to potentially try and pounce.
Yeah, you can kind of tell nobody really wants the lead right now. This is the penultimate lap. They don't want to be the sitting duck on the start-finish straight.
And they're all harvesting huge amounts of battery.
Yeah, it'll be a final lap shootout, so we'll probably dedicate the last lap to those top 3. Villeneuve still very close to Ghost Viper. Will try to size up a move on the last lap as well. Does have a bit of a tire disadvantage though. The rest of the field a bit more spread out. There may not be much of a chance there to go for it. But we're gonna stick to the top 3 here for the last lap. It'll be very interesting to see what these guys, how they end up negotiating this win. And Morris and Mr. Bean did very well on their ERS.
Here we go then. And we do have a lapped car for company coming up as well, just to throw that in there. But it's the final lap, lap 33 or 33 for this PRL race.
Yeah, Mr. Bean. Lots of overspeed on Morris, but Morris does stay ahead for now. GK Bass gets a 3-second penalty. Oh no. That is
Oh,
exactly not the
disaster.
moment where you want to get it. And Gortsas has picked one up as well. I think we saw that earlier. Whew.
Oh, a late move from Mr.
Oh!
Bean!
Oh!
Flings it down the inside, snaps into Morris, who then has a
Yep.
snap and loses the back end, slides down to P3. Won't be too happy about that one, I'm pretty sure.
No, no, we try not to use our competitors as brake help devices in this league, so I'm pretty convinced this will go to the stewards. Nice
Yeah,
try, I will applaud it, but definitely a bit audacious. Um,
yeah,
so we will see how that will
yeah.
end up. Morris will still have P2 here due to Bass's penalty. But Bass still has a chance to get past, especially as Mr.
So
Bean
the
completely botches the apex here.
Yeah, and actually, depending on the penalty, I think the 5 second is the minimum penalty here. So assuming that's given, actually that would save Bass. So potentially Mr. Bean's eagerness could cost him, but Mr. Bean does cross the line and takes provisionally the lead or the win.
Yep. Yeah, Mr. Bean wins on track, be ahead of Bass, who has a 3-second penalty. Morris in P2, therefore. Gord finishes in P4 as he dropped off a little bit at the end. Ghost must have had. Oh no, never mind. Noob definitely has no competitors for P5. Very, very good result for Noob. Villeneuve and Ghost fight all the way to the line, but Ghost just keeps it. There is a stranded Red Bull on the start-finish straight. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah,
Craig.
Kak is in all sorts of trouble there.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah, the Discord chat is already starting regarding the incident we just witnessed. But overall, very, very entertaining race. Yeah, very curious how that will go at the stewards room.
Yeah, I think very good battle, and I completely understand, trying to get the lead. I think the stewards, I'm pretty sure I can guess what will happen.
Yeah,
So I'm sure that there'll be a fair result, but very good racing nonetheless. And at the end of the day, if you're not racing hard, what's the point, right? It's the last lap. If there's a gap, you try and go for it. Makes
yeah,
complete sense.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Mr. Bean is here to win, so he will probably not care whether he'll get P2 or P3. But there was a chance to take Morris out of the race completely, so you always have to think about that as well. Um, in the end of the day, we wanted to stay fair, right? Yeah, applause to everyone. Thank you everyone for showing up. Thank you for tuning into the stream. We had 16 drivers on the grid today, which is actually one of the lower numbers for this season. So really, really nice time to be in PRL. Mr. Bean also takes the fastest lap with a 17.9. I'm just gonna export the session results here and go through the race director. If you maybe want to go down the order, if you're still here.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Ramsey. So we've got Mr. Bean who takes the win with the fastest lap as well, but pending potentially Stewart's review, which I think could potentially see a 5 second penalty. We'll wait and see. Morris in second, Bass in third, Gord fourth. Good result from all of them, to be fair. Noob, Ghost, Villeneuve, Craig, Chaos in ninth, Joe 10th, Justin 11th, Rusty 12th, Cac 13th, Dr. J 14th, Martin 15th, and Tar Heels, unfortunately, with the connection issues, rounds off in 16th position.
Yep. Yet another good one for the history books. um, Thank you for joining me,
Yeah,
Lucas
on
8.
we go. I think the championship battle is getting quite close, isn't it? Right, for PRL. I mean, Mr. Bean's had a good result, but there are still other drivers in contention, and there seems to be, especially with the top four, a lot of good pace. Very very strong drivers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm just looking at the standings here. I actually didn't go over that after the qualifying. So we have Mr. Bean leading by 22 points, which I believe is equal to about a P4 or so, um, ahead of Gord. Gord and Bass really close, both at 148 and 145 points respectively. And then Joe, who hasn't had the best race today, at 108 points, and Morris just behind, 2 points behind Joe Biden. So
Wow.
he will jump up to P4 for sure.
Mm. So
And
really, the top five are looking very, very close on points.
yeah, very competitive.
Considering, still 3 races to go after Portugal.
Yeah,
So still anyone's championship.
everything's still up for grabs. Then we have someone in P6 Viking side. I'm not exactly sure. Um,
That's Martin.
that's Martin. Oh, thank you. Okay, so Martin, uh, pretty comfortable in P6. Rusty doing very well in P7 with 86 points. Picked some up today as well. Villeneuve, 71 points, so quite a bit behind. But yeah, the standings are really tight, just as the racing was.
Absolutely. But yeah, thanks so much, Ramsey. Enjoyed commentating with you today.
Yeah, thank you as well. Uh, Always fun to do it with another person. Um, and yeah, please join us
Absolutely.
for the
But
next
yeah,
race. Round 8 will be held at, let me,
Silverstone.
Silverstone, which is a classic track we all love. I will not be here, unfortunately, for that race, as I will be on an airplane, but hopefully our dear Lucozade here will be able to host it for you.
I'm sure I can cover for the greatest race in the greatest country of all time.
Yep, I won't say anything against that.
Oh, I happily would. But anyway, have a great week, everyone, and yeah, hopefully see you on Sunday
See
for
you,
those that are
Lucozade.
watching. And
See you,
Ramsey, have a nice,
everyone.
have a
If you're
safe flight.
Thank you, thank you. If you're interested in this league, hit us up here on Twitch or follow the link to Discord. We're always welcoming new drivers. We will be active for F125, possibly with more than one division as well. So come hit us up. Have a good one. Bye bye.